Some don't want to learn. Some we can just not help. Because you just don't listen. So that's how we're going to start this right now. Ricotoro. Some of y'all like when I just do after hours, maybe slightly drunk, unfiltered shit. So that's what you're getting right now. So I'm almost shamefully admitting that Saturday, here we are. And after like 2.5 months of not going out late, not allowing myself to be dragged to the casino after hours, I've actually been there Friday last week, Tuesday, Friday, and then again tonight. That's what friends are for. I leave it at that. So, because it's usually never my idea. So, here's the thing. When I say some of y'all can't really be helped or you don't listen, I understand the matrix mentality, the scarcity mentality, the one-itis. Like, oh, find one girl and that's the one girl for me. If I have one girl, don't let her go because I won't get another. That's the one-itis mentality. But unfortunately, some guys bring that here and it creates like a simp mentality, you know. So I'm out at one of my normal, regular establishments this evening, you know, and out of nowhere, one of my team members, not regular, I see her like, when I see her, not every week. I don't want to every week. She's a little past her prime, in her 30s. Sweet girl, brings it how I like. She provides me a lot of information. Whenever I call her, she comes within 30 minutes or less, like Domino's used to do back in the day. So I'm sitting there just chilling, and she comes up from left field. Hola, ¿cómo está, Rico? Blah, blah, blah. I just seen her like 3-4 days ago. We chatted up a minute, and she straight up tells me she's over there in the corner with a date, with a group of guys. I could look at them right away, tell that, I don't know if they're newbies, but you could definitely tell that half of the dudes, they wearing the same clothes that they wore at the beach all day. You know, they didn't change to come out for the evening. You know, like most people that I surround myself with do. And she straight up told me, like, look, I don't really want to be with this guy. He's offered me a decent amount of change to hang out with him, party with him, go home with him, whatever. But I'd really be more than happy if you gave me half of that and we just leave right now to go to your apartment. And I'm thinking, so that means this brother, and could mean anything. You're all my brothers, regardless of where you're from. So this dude, she's going to shortchange him in the morning. They tell me these things. They tell me if they're not really feeling it, they tell me what they're going to do. But yet I know what she would do for me if she stayed all night. You know? And so right away I could tell she's not happy in her situation. So, she's going to do the bare minimum that she's got to do for their inflated arrangement, 17,000 pesos. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. And, because he can't communicate. He didn't try to connect at all. He's just thinking that, okay, it's the weekend, I'm on a short trip possibly, and, good enough for me, and, and whatever. But here's the thing. Sometimes those of us that are here long term or live here, we've been called upon to intercept some of our regulars from time to time. Some of my friends have not so much been called upon, but they've just walked up and snatched their regulars from guys. And had guys, some guys might be relieved, but other guys might be sort of confused, like, well, that guy didn't look Dominican, but maybe he spoke Spanish, maybe knows this girl. And we had an arrangement, but he just took her out from under me. And I see the after effects. Sometimes the girl looks relieved to be rescued from a bad situation. Not financially, sometimes the financial situation is better, but sometimes she's bored to death. Maybe the dude just wants her around for company, arm candy. Maybe the ExPat or the long-term guy, maybe he knows how to fuck her right. Maybe he can fuck her day and night, and not just be waiting till the morning session because some guys on vacation get too drunk when they're partying to fuck her right at night. I mean, let's face it, many of us are over 50. Maybe there's some health issues, get too drunk or whatever. But the girl, either way, seeks out, either intentionally or unintentionally, a more comfortable situation. Even if it's putting less pesos in her pocket. So that was one of them situations tonight. But I basically, I'm just like, I'm chilling. I knew what was going on, but I'm like, I'm chilling. I'll talk to you like next week. You got to do what you got to do. But I understand she wasn't real comfortable. It was a financially comfortable situation, but not a great situation. And she had to do what she had to do. So, moving along, I end up at the casino late, and I've been on this thing. I got 2 solid team members. One, I've known a long time. I understand her game. I can't question it because she always brings it to me. I know a long time. The other one is 8 months new. Never, ever, ever, ever seen her in Sosua. So I'm in the casino. Not in a disco, but there's a lot of activity in the hallways and the front bar. So, I don't see the best, but I thought that I seen her walk by. So I had to investigate. So I start walking the way she was going, and she popped out, and I thought it was a team member. My Puerto Plata main. And she goes outside, I'm near the door, I turn back around, I'm talking to somebody, and next thing I know, this particular subject is like, hola, Rico, you don't remember me? And I'm shocked because, one, it was not my Puerto Plata main, but Rather, someone that was a little further down my bench that was kind of high end. So I didn't see her that often. Santo Domingo chick. And, up here for like 2 weeks at a time, then back in the capital. Actually, she was much cuter and a little fuller, a little thicker, but not too thick, than my Puerto Plata main. But my Puerto Plata main is super perky and tight. So this one, I'm kind of like, it took me a minute to recognize her. And I'm like, oh, haven't seen you since before the holidays. And so she's like, well, yeah, I haven't been here much or whatever. I said, you changed your phone number? And she said, well, actually, I don't have a phone now. And then I'm looking at her, trying to look at her closely, trying to be like a detective, like one of my friends, just, recognize any irregularities. And she's a weed head before. No surprise. But now I'm looking at her like, man, no phone. She was kind of one of my high-end ones before, because that's just what it took to get things the way I wanted from her, and I didn't see her much. Also, I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, I mistook her for Puerto Plata, Maine. So obviously something went south in her life. So I don't know, I'm thinking like, I don't know, does she got a coke habit or something? Now maybe? Something's different there. But either way, it was like not a good like running into. So, I had to keep that in my memory bank and say hi, bye, push it to the side. So, we're moving right along. Just my opinion in general though right now. And the casino full of Santo Domingo girls that they all say they're just here for a limited time. And I even ask them, would you have a place here? Maybe you have a second apartment here for a little while. Maybe whatever. But they're all, sometimes, a lot of times they're lying. Like, oh, I'm leaving tomorrow. Because, they want the lottery tonight. I'm leaving tomorrow. In actuality, they might be here Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday next week. But to me, those girls are the ones that I call in the army. I've said it before. They're in the army. They're trying to be all they can be, make all they can make, take all they can take, and get back to the capital. So, that's what I was running across, when I seen anything presentable to me. I'm not trying to do anything tonight. I'm just trying to get like that third solid team member. And not having much luck. And ironically, the one girl that passed me and came back through, whose number that I really wanted, turns out I already had it. I just been bullshitting and haven't hooked up with her. So I just have to, she's got her sales pitch. I just have to give her my sales pitch, basically in a day or two, and see what's up from there. But she was surprised I didn't remember her, and that seemed to be the theme of the night. There was a few that know me that I don't know. Maybe I don't know them or remember them. But it is one of them things, like, it used to be sort of 50-50. There was a lot of ladies from Santiago. There was a lot of ladies from Santo Domingo coming in town. Well, somebody actually told me today, and I believe them. They said, well, here's the thing. The Santo Domingo girls and some of the Puerto Plata barrio girls, at some point they weren't having it. Whether it be envy, jealousy, like the Santiago girls, they're light skinned, they're pretty or whatever. They made them uncomfortable. They were jealous. They were encroaching on that hustle. So they didn't want them here. I don't know if that's really true or not, but the one or two that I know that is here from Santiago, they have apartments nearby barrios in the area. They relocated for work. And the last one that I met out and about that said she was from Santiago, she didn't fit the profile. I immediately sensed that she was just lying, because she didn't want to be connected to the capital or wherever she's really from. But interesting thing, like I say, I mean, if you're coming just for a short trip, you don't really care where they're from. You just want the best bang for your buck, no pun intended, and have a good time. But if you're really trying to build a team, you got to pay attention to certain things like where they're from, how much time they're here. Do they have a spot here? Did they really relocate for work? Or are they just weekend warriors or, in the army, as I said before? So, a couple of things to think about. I think about all these things. I don't make too many random decisions on the fly, and like I say, it depends on your flexibility, Interestingly, y'all know I moved recently, but I'm telling a friend of mine here who's doing like his first or second like long-term working trip, that staying close by, that I don't know how long I'm going to be in this apartment either, because I've had some issue. The Wi-Fi is not great, not as up to par as the last apartment. The backup electricity, my inverter, when the inverter is working well, it covers a lot more than the other apartment. But lately they've had some issues. I don't know if it's just the batteries need change, but it's just not doing well enough. I've missed some time due to bad backup power. And, so I missed the pool area of the old apartment. Bigger pool, a little better for entertaining. So the trade-off of extra space, and I'm grateful they gave me a new couch. But, I'm starting to feel like, oh my God, I don't want to be like Cerise and moving 12 apartments within like a year and change or a couple years, because I've been in the first place, was there till recently, so over 2 years. But just one of those things, not complaining, just sharing with y'all so y'all are aware. So that's all I got, man. I'm not trying to talk nobody to death. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do your thing, be well, come visit.